This is Jason Smith of the Flensburg Files, and I would like to show you some tongue twisters in connection with another problem that we have for vowels between German and English, the double O. Mainly because when we use double O in German, we always have the O, like Zoologische Garden or Zoo. However, we do have a difference here in English, and it consists of the short double O's and the long double O's. If we look at the short double O's, it has basically a pronunciation that's similar to the German words of Köln and kaputt. That means that with the double O's in short form, it has the U at the end, like uk, such as a crook or cook, or ud, like in hood and good, and oot, like boot and foot. Although in some cases with the double OT, there might be some long ones there. But still, nonetheless, the double O in short form has the U in it. Whereas in the long version, we have the OO. The double O in long version, that consists of words with the endings of B, F, L, M, N, P, S, E, plus some of the endings with a consonant E, and of course, as I mentioned before, some of the T's there. And there's a similar meaning there in terms of pronunciation, like in the German U, like Schule and Universität. With that in mind, let's take a look at some tongue twisters. And off we go. We'll start with the double O in short form. Beginning with double OK. The crooked cook booked a notebook. The notebook looked like a playbook. So Crooked Cooked rebooked a new notebook. The book looked like a law book. So Crooked Cook, looking spooked, booked a hooker via Outlook, who is an onlooker. And now Crooked Cook is on the hook, booked, for being a crook playing snooker. With double OD. One hoodie runs through the neighborhood looking at her personhood, going through toddlerhood and childhood, then sisterhood and womanhood, as she passes by Sasswood, Rosewood, and Redwood. One hoodie runs through the woods looking at his personhood, starting with boyhood, brotherhood, then manhood, thinking of priesthood while running past the pulpwood, beechwood, and nutwood. Two hoodies in the neighborhood think of parenthood. Their childhood is the lifeblood, making good peoplehood. The neighborhood becomes a nationhood as their parenthood becomes grandparenthood and not misunderstood for sainthood. Keep in mind with the double ODs here, with the first two verses here, the last three words are examples of trees. And hoodie is basically a person who runs with a hooded sweatshirt. Let's have a look at the double OT. The troubleshooter shoots himself in the foot. The troubleshooter was uprooting the rosewood. Instead, the troubleshooter finds a boot in the soot, but hears a hoot in the snakewood. With moot, the troubleshooter toots the horn, but sees a Bigfoot in the bloodroot, rebooting the computer. The troubleshooter shoots at Bigfoot, but hits his bare foot, and now the foot of the troubleshooter is just a flat foot. Again, you'll see the examples of how double T is used in both short and long vowel. Let's take a look at the short double O mix. The hoodies stood at the moor, looking at the foot of the poor, which was cooked by a crook and now on the hook. The hoodies understood that Bigfoot was the crook and stood on the floor in the neighborhood. So the hoodies ran to the moor, crossing a brook but looking for roots. One hoodie was a rookie and her foot took a root from a beechwood. The wood shook the Bigfoot and it fell into a brook. The hoodies got Bigfoot, and the book on Bigfoot they are footing on wood. Now with the long O. We'll start with just a simple double O. In a zoo in Waterloo, we have kangaroos in tattoos. A Waterloo doing switcheroo. A jackaroo making shampoo. Another Waterloo doing boo-boo. A cockapoo playing a didgeridoo, and wanderoos doing achoo achoo. In a zoo in Waterloo, a tattoo is on a buckaroo, shooing away a kangaroo while playing peekaboo with Baby Roo. Now with OOSE and a link to the song footloose. I enclosed in the article. The goose is on the loose, the moose danced the footloose. The goose and the moose both have nooses. They choose the noose the caboose, and now the goose and the moose are dancing footloose on the caboose. With double O-N. Two raccoons flew over Saskatoon at high noon in a balloon. Two goons outside a saloon stand in a lagoon with a contrabassoon. They soon use spoons and play tunes at the moon. A tycoon loves his honeymoon, collecting teaspoons, soup spoons, and dessert spoons. He meets a raccoon in a balloon who gives him a tablespoon, and a goon who gives him a silver spoon. Now he leaves Saskatoon and ends his honeymoon at high noon, with spoons for the moonlight with his brideoon. With double O-M. A baby boomer is in the bedroom. The baby boomer zoomed into a dining room. A groom was in the bathroom. His honey bloom was in the living room. Now the groom sees a baby boomer. He leaves the dining room, goes to the washroom, and over to his bedroom. The baby boomer is doomed and is now in the courtroom. With double O-L. Two fools live in Liverpool. They work at Whirlpool for Mr. Vanderpool. Mr. Vanderpool is old school, who made wool with power tools. Now the two fools left school while Vanderpool was in high school in Blackpool. He learned to wire wool with e-tools while after school on a bar stool, owned by Mrs. Poole. The two fools were cool at school but left school for Whirlpool. The two fools and Vanderpool live in an old school next to a cesspool and not a swimming pool in Liverpool. Vanderpool makes rag wools with e-tools, while the two fools make clean wool with power tools. Got any questions, everybody? Okay, I'm going to leave this one with a quote by Mr. T. Don't be a fool, stay in school.